Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we will discuss about PR for international students in Canada. So let's get started. Canada receives thousands of international students every year from all across the globe. Many of them move back after completing their studies, while some get PR for international students in Canada and live in Canada permanently. For getting PR for international students in Canada, there are many pathways available. Canada offers many pathways for permanent residency to foreigners who want to transition to Canadian permanent residence. Many permanent residency programs in Canada privilege the applicants who are in Canada or have strong ties with Canada. The applicants who have a Canadian connection or Canadian work experience, Canadian educational credentials, or who have a connection with a specific Canadian province, are all privileged for Canadian permanent residency. International students in Canada also benefit from this privilege when they apply for permanent residency in Canada. They have Canadian educational credentials and work experience. But to apply for permanent residency, international students must meet all the requirements which are stated in their study permit, while they are staying in Canada. In case students don't fulfill the conditions of their study permit, then they become ineligible for permanent residency in Canada. The permanent residency programs in Canada have requirements for skilled work experience, which is a disadvantage for international students. But Canada has postgraduate work permits. This allows international students to work in Canada and gain international work experience, which helps them in their permanent residency applications. So, now we discuss some important aspects or points. Number 1. Immigration programs for international students. Canada has a number of immigration programs for PR for international students in Canada. Each program has different requirements. These requirements include Canadian studies, work experience, etc. The programs for PR for international students in Canada provide different accelerated pathways for international students to become Canadian permanent residents. The programs are 1. Canadian Experience Class. 2. Federal Skilled Worker Program. 3. Provincial Nominee Programs. 4. Quebec Immigration Options. 5. Post-graduation work permits. Some of the above-mentioned programs are operated under Canada's Express Entry System, a federal program which is responsible for managing permanent resident applications in Canada. Number 2. Canadian Experience Class. Canadian Experience Class, a program under the Express Entry System, is the fastest way to get permanent residency in Canada. There are a number of eligibility factors in the Canadian Experience Class: age, education level, language proficiency, and the most important is Canadian work experience. The work experience should be a minimum of 12 months in the past 3 years. It can be a 12-month full-time work experience or equivalent part-time work experience. But this does not include the work experience from your full-time study period. It only includes the work experience after your study is complete. So you can apply for a postgraduate study visa after you complete your studies and gain the required work experience. If you fulfill the requirements of SEC, this will be the best immigration option for international students. Number 3. Federal Skilled Worker Program. The Federal Skilled Worker Program is also a stream under the Express Entry System, like the Canadian Experience Class. Some international students opt for the Federal Skilled Worker Program for permanent residency. This program has eligibility requirements for age, work experience, educational level, language proficiency and financial proof. However, in the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the work experience should not be Canadian. It does have the same work time requirements of 12 months, but it can be completed in any country. The part-time work requirements are also the same. This makes it a good option for those who don't have Canadian work experience. This program is based on a ranking system. The point-based comprehensive ranking system is used to score the ranks of the applicants automatically, based on their eligibility factors. This program selects the candidates with the highest ranking, and those who get selected will receive the invitation to apply. If a candidate gets selected for FSW, then it is a great pathway for them to permanent residency. Number 4. Provincial nominee programs. Every Canadian province has a nominee program, provincial nominee program. Every PNP has different requirements and works differently. These PNPs are designed to meet the province's requirements, and there are frequent changes in these PNPs according to the needs of the province. In PNPs, some get a preference for studying in a specific province, while some get a preference for having work experience in the province. International students can also apply to the PNP from where they completed their studies. Number 5. Quebec immigration options. Quebec has its own immigration programs. Their requirements and immigration system are different from other provinces and territories. But international students can get permanent residency in Quebec, under its immigration programs. There are mainly two programs which were specifically designed for international students, to get permanent residency. 1. Quebec Experience Program. To be eligible for this program, the student must have completed their studies under a study permit, or should be completing their studies within 6 months, in a Quebec study institution. Also, intermediate knowledge of the French language is required. 2. Quebec Skilled Worker. To be eligible for this program, the applicant must have a minimum score on the program's point assessment grid. Other than this, the study requirements are the same as the Quebec Experience Program. Also, the mandatory French language requirements are not necessary for QSW. Number 6. Post-graduation work permits. This program is not a direct program for permanent residency, but it provides a pathway for the same. This program allows international students who have educational credentials from designated learning institutes in Canada to remain in Canada after they complete their studies and work for the Canadian employer of their choice. This experience helps you when you are applying for permanent residency under the Canadian Experience class or under a PNP who needs work experience from a Canadian employer. So friends, that's now for in this video. Do subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for instant latest notification. Thanks for watching this video and spending your precious time with us. See you in our next video.